New York State is deploying the National Guard to NYC subway system to combat crime and violence. I wonder what else they could do. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about New York State Governor Kathy Hochul deploying 750 National Guard and 250 MTA to NYC subway system to combat crime and violence. Now, there are quite a few things you could do aside from this, maybe even in addition to this. Number one, the migrants. I mean, the elephant in the room, I got to address it, obviously. If the door is wide open and you guys are a sanctuary state, Kathy Hochul, and a sanctuary city, New York City Mayor Eric Adams, if that's going on, you're going to invite all types of criminals to New York City. Now, am I saying that every quote unquote migrant is going to attack people, assault people, disrupt the subway system? I'm not saying that, but you don't know who you're getting. You're getting regular normies and violent, dangerous criminals who may have been in prison in their country of origin. So that could be a way to combat the crime and violence on the subway system. Here's one more thing, one more novel idea before we get to the news clip. How about when people get arrested for violent crime, like, I don't know, assaulting an old lady on the platform, or where they get caught pickpocketing, robbing people, brandishing weapons. When they get caught doing that, maybe hold them in jail and don't let them out with zero bail, just maybe. Okay, somebody assaulted 45 old ladies on the subway platform. They get arrested, charged, they got evidence, fingerprints, witnesses, and then they're let out with no bail, and they go right back to the subway and do the very same thing over and over again. Didn't we see that with the whole Daniel Penny kerfuffle? Wasn't that guy that he restrained a repeat known offender in the top, 50 people in New York City who were homeless, violent, and dangerous? You see, if you do a little bit of prevention of the crime, maybe you don't have so much of it. Now, before I go any further, let's get into the actual clip. If you want to see the clip in full without my commentary, link, as always, will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Governor Kathy Hochul says subway safety concerns will not stand. And this morning, she and the MTA unveiled a 5-point plan to make the rails safer after a recent rash of violence.
Now, let's see if this 5-point plan includes anything that I mentioned before the video started rolling. Let's check it out.
Includes flooding the system with state police and National Guard troops. News 4's Tracy Strahan is in Hell's Kitchen right now with the plan. Tracy?
Well, that news conference wrapped up just a short time ago with Governor Kathy Hochul laying out muscle in the thousands that would be flooding the underground system, trying to keep New Yorkers safe. I want to show you some video now of that news conference. It was held here at the Rail Control Center. The governor...
Now, I wonder if we're going to have uniformed National Guard in the actual subway system. I wonder if that's going to happen.
Joined by members of the MTA announcing a 1,000 state police, MTA officers, even members of New York's National Guard will now support random bag checks in subway stations. Now, it's something commuters may have seen already this week by NYPD teams. In addition, the program announced by the governor would address recidivism, banning violent offenders who assault other passengers.
Wow, a novel idea, right? Banning people that assault other passengers. Okay, you've assaulted 495 old ladies on the subway platform. Maybe you should get banned from the platform. Just maybe. That might make sense.
Now, announcing that bill, the governor also shouted out judges, asking them to use their discretion to set bail to keep repeat offenders off the streets.
Wow, imagine that. Imagine keeping a repeat violent, dangerous offender, a known offender, off the streets by actually assigning them bail. Now, I don't know if that's a judge thing specifically or if that's a state policy. I don't really know what's going on, because you're hearing about bail reform and all these political measures. Is that the judge who can bypass these political measures and assign bail to these violent, dangerous, known offenders? If you guys know more about that, please let me know, educate me in the comments below. I'd love to understand that.
We're coordinating with the city of New York so people will see this. A bill to allow judges to ban people from using the subway, people who attack others and are convicted of a violent crime. Improve coordination between police and DAs to keep violent criminals off the subways. Cameras on and in the conductor cabins, and expanding our mental health outreach teams.
I mean, some of this is just kind of common sense. Now, the mental health outreach team, what is that going to be? Are we going to have counselors that are going to approach some 300-pound, out-of-control, manic person? Is that what we're going to have going on? I hope not, because that's not going to be very effective. But as far as actually holding criminals accountable, banning them from the subway, these are just kind of common sense things that should have already been happening. I'm surprised that they weren't already in place in New York City. Maybe they were in place at one point, and then a certain somebody or a certain group of people decided to go ahead and reverse that. I'm not going to point any fingers or name any names, but the governor of New York is Kathy Hochul, and the mayor of New York City is Eric Adams. And I digress.
Anyone looking to do harm or spread fear on our subways, you will be caught. Plain and simple. There will be consequences. This has to end. New Yorkers deserve no less.
The governor's subway safety initiative would also add new cameras to protect the cabins of subway conductors. Cameras will also be installed in each subway car and also part of the plan would pump $20 million into the expansion of mental health outreach programs. As you bring it back live.
Now, wasn't there a mental health outreach program from a previous mayor? Wasn't that, who was that? Bill de Blasio, remember his wife? I think that was a mental health program. And she was given $850 million and lost it. And I think they, meaning Bill de Blasio and his wife, lost a grand total of $1.8 billion or something, some kind of crazy number. Where's the money? Who knows? Who knows? Hopefully that's not another one of those boondoggles where you just lose a bunch of money. The main thing should be just holding criminals accountable. But let's continue here.
Live, one person noticeably absent from today's news conference, Mayor Eric Adams. Now, he has been asking for state assistance financially when it comes to the subway system. Governor Hochul waved off the fact that he wasn't there, saying that she has spoken to the mayor several times this week and that she'll be working in tandem with the city on this.
I wonder why he wasn't there. That's kind of strange to me. Maybe, just maybe, he understands what I understand. And that's the fact that the whole sanctuary thing is a problem. But maybe he doesn't. Maybe he wants the city to remain a sanctuary. Because, I mean, look, you can do certain things like ban the criminals from the platforms and hold criminals in jail when they get convicted or when they're accused. Okay, if you're accused of a violent crime, right? They got you on video camera. They got a witness. They have all the evidence in the world. They got fingerprints. They got a weapon with your fingerprints on it. They have everything. All the evidence in the world that says you most likely did this. That person should be held in jail without bail until their court date, because they most likely will be convicted. This is a very dangerous person. You were caught in the act of committing a violent crime. No, you've not been convicted, but you probably will be. That person shouldn't be let out. Aside from that, let's not import a bunch of random people who may or may not be very violent and dangerous. How about that? I'm not quite sure that he's on that particular wavelength mentally, but I know that Kathy Hochul isn't. She's talking about, oh, well, the migrants that start out the police officers in Times Square, they should be held accountable. They should get deported. Oh, okay, cool. But as long as you're a sanctuary, that's not going to happen. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to the governor for doing something rather than nothing. But obviously, that's just one piece of it. You need to do a lot more. The things I mentioned, closing the sanctuary status, actually holding criminals accountable. And even if, as I close for real, even if a criminal does get held in jail without bail, when they get sentenced, let's not have it be a slap on the wrist. If you assaulted 894 nuns on the subway platform between 2015 and 2023, maybe you shouldn't get 1 year of supervised release as your sentence. Maybe you should do quite a bit of time in the penitentiary, make it big rocks, little rocks. I think that would make a big difference when you're talking about not only subway safety, but New York City and New York State safety. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on Governor Kathy Hochul's plan for New York City subway systems to combat the crime and the violence? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I mean, it's something better than nothing, but there's a lot more that can be done for sure. This is just one piece of it. Let's go. Let's start here and then keep on going to get New York City under control. Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.